New details are emerging about the people killed in a mass shooting at a medical office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 4 people were killed in Wednesday's incident before the shooter turned the gun on himself. Those killed include 2 doctors, a receptionist, and an Army veteran visiting the clinic, who police say held a door shut so others could flee. Police say the gunman blamed one of the doctors for back pain after a recent surgery. They also say the gunman legally purchased his firearm about an hour before the shooting. Meanwhile, in Uvalde, Texas, State Senator Roland Gutierrez wants to know if 911 call information was relayed to everyone responding to the shooting at Robb Elementary School. Authorities say information was given to the city's police force, but Gutierrez is questioning whether it was relayed to the school district police chief, who was the incident commander. President Biden is pleading with Congress to act and finally reform gun laws after a series of mass shootings over the last 3 weeks.
For God's sake, how much more carnage are we willing to accept? How many more innocent American lives must be taken before we say enough, enough?
Bring in CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, great to see you. So the president has laid out an ambitious list of gun reforms he wants passed. Tell us about that and how lawmakers are responding to the president's, vociferous requests here.
Hey, Tanya. Well, many of the president's requests are essentially non-starters in the Senate, where you have to get 60 votes to proceed with any kind of measure. And that's why gun legislation has been so elusive on Capitol Hill, even in the wake of these horrific mass shootings that we've seen time and time again. A couple of the items that he's pushed for are things like the assault weapons ban, which was brought up after Sandy Hook, got about 40 votes in support in the Senate, so not nearly enough. That is something that he helped shepherd while he was in the Senate himself. Of course, it was passed in the Clinton administration and lapsed. There have been calls in the wake of these mass shootings where where the gunman has used an assault weapon for a ban, but that's essentially a non-starter. The House is expected to consider taking it up later, but that is not something. In the House, meanwhile, you've had the Judiciary Committee pass last night a series of measures. One would raise the age limit to purchase a semi-automatic weapon from 18 to 21. It would also institute a ban on high-capacity magazines. That passed out of committee on party lines. It's headed to the full House next week. As we have been discussing, however, faces little chance of being taken up in the Senate, where they are considering their own bipartisan support, or they're trying to find their own bipartisan solution.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, because as you pointed out, House Democrats and Republicans debated this gun law package for nearly 10 hours Thursday. Yeah. And meanwhile, this bipartisan group in the Senate does say it's making progress on its measures. Are we to believe that? Would the Senate, of all places, the place where House bills go to die, suddenly be the place where more progress is being made?
Well, it's a really good question, Tanya, and that's why the Senate is taking a very different approach than the House. On the House side, they are likely going to be able to pass measures, but on the Senate side, remember, you need 10 Republicans to come over to do anything, really, on legislation. So the threshold is higher in terms of garnering support than it is on the House. And the lawmakers working in this bipartisan group, they know this. They have a big kind of reality check that they've administered in their approach to legislation, because they know time and time again they've tried to introduce these bills. They fail to garner enough support from Republicans. So on the Senate side, you can expect, if they come up with a framework, for it to be very narrow. They're focusing on things like red flag laws, focusing on school safety measures. But those working in that group continue to say the conversations are good. You have 2 Connecticut senators who have firsthand experience with this, unfortunately, leading this group. So we'll see if next week, when they come back, if they are able to reach some kind of agreement that can get 60 votes.
And Caitlin, is reinstating the assault weapons ban, is that a non-starter for this bipartisan Senate group? Is that not even
Pretty
on the table?
much. It's not even on the table at this point because they know they can't even get the support for it. So it's not part of this conversation. Instead, it's a very narrow focus. And we heard from Mitch McConnell earlier this week, who's been in his home state of Kentucky, giving us kind of an insight to how Republicans are thinking. He said that he wants any legislation to be, reflective of the Second Amendment and really focused on mental health and school safety. So that gives you a purview into how Republicans are thinking on gun legislation. If you can expect it at all, expect it to be very minimal.
All right. Caitlin Huey-Burns in Washington, thanks to you.
Thank you.